Hey guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly historian today, because today we are carrying on with an adventure we started playing. This is, oh gosh, what's his name? Daniel Ioro? No, what's his name? What's his name? The author. Forgive me, folks. Richard Iorio. Richard Iorio's outstanding American Gothic Horror RPG. That is Flames of Freedom. This is one of the Powered by Zweihander games that we have been playing on the channel recently. And with me today are a quartet of stalwart rebels ready to take up arms and continue on the took our arms against the colonial oppressor and the Prussian undead soldier who may be pursuing some of our other heroes. So let me introduce our rebels to you, and guys, why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing today. First up is Darren.
Yep, I'm Darren. I'm playing Maurice Fortier, who is a tracker. Yep, he is a tracker.
So I will.
Sure.
The surname is Fortier.
Fortier.
Fortier, yeah, it's a French-Canadian surname. Named after one of our players. That is the only reason I'm correcting the pronunciation, because the running conceit is that it's one of Dave's ancestors who you're playing.
I'm sure I'll still get it right. Wrong later.
No problem.
Maurice.
A British or an English brother-in-law who, to the day that he and my sister separated, didn't believe that it wasn't Arkansas. He's like, "You're trying to make me say something funny." There's no way. You got Kansas and Arkansas. Next up is James.
Hi, I'm James, and I'm a Buxagun, the Massachusetts survivalist.
Very nice. Next up is Ingolf.
Yeah, I'm Ingolf. I'm playing Patience McFadden, who is a Scottish privateer.
Nice. And last but certainly not least, joining our rebels for the first time is Carl.
Yes, I'm Carl, and I play Thaddeus Bradshaw, a mentalist.
Yeah. So I think, Carl, is this your first time playing any Zweihander game, or is this your first time playing...
Yeah, actually playing any Zweihander game. I've played a lot of Warhammer Fantasy, right? But
yeah, so you're going to see a lot of stuff that's familiar to you in this. There's a couple of ways that it's been slimmed down as far as the game mechanics and list of skills and stuff like that. The most significant ways that it changes, you've got access to only, well, you got two. You got one thing called Determination, which you can spend to just not die. And then you also have something called, it's called coins in this, the fortune coins. They're fortune points in Blackbirds, and I think they're called fortune points in Zweihander as well. So I'll probably just call them fortune points. But what those can be used for is to re-roll a dice roll. It has an action economy in it, similar to Pathfinder 2, where you get 3 actions per round, 3 action points, but then different actions you take cost different amounts of AP. And then also you have to save the AP if you want to do any defenses. You don't get auto defenses like you do in... I mean, Warhammer, that's not necessarily the case either, because depending on the edition, you may have to save for that too. But I've got a handout in here to tell you what the different AP costs are. One of the other ways it differs is you cannot attack... You can't use more than one attack action in a round, but what you can do is use other things like rough and tumble. That's sort of the scrappier, punching people, knocking people down, stuff like that. It gives the combat a very swashbuckling feel to it, in this game at least. The other thing that this differs is that we don't have hit points. We have damage threshold and we have peril threshold. Damage threshold measures your injury, but you don't suffer any penalties from damage threshold. It's just that you risk injury, and increasing scale of severity of injuries the further down you get on it, and then once you get to the bottom of the damage threshold track, you die. The peril threshold is kind of reflecting everything else. It's exhaustion, it's fear, it's mental stress, it's illness that doesn't result in injury. But similar to the other one, there isn't a death spiral thing. What it does is it prevents you from using your trained levels and skills. You default back down to your skill level. So it still feels, in play, the game feels like you're a fair bit more competent than you are than say in our Warhammer Fantasy 2nd Edition game. You guys kind of felt like it was more likely you were going to fail in your tasks than succeed. This goes the opposite. And then when you spend fortune points, you all share the pool. They go into my historian's pool, and I can spend them for different things as well. One way this game in particular differs from Blackbird's is that you can spend action points on other people's turns to get, or spend fortune points to get action points. That's important because after your turn, you can still spend a fortune point to take a defense. That is not the case in Blackbird's. You need to plan ahead to have that. For those listening at home, the reason we're mentioning that is because we will all be playing Blackbirds over the holidays quite a bit, so it's worth noting that. Except for Darren. Darren has better things to do than join us in the Carcass Nations.
He has a life.
So, yeah, exactly. Joy and family, come on. All right, so I think what we'll start with is the setting. So this is... obviously, this is an alternate world from the real world from it, where magic is real and whatnot. But Thaddeus, you are a experienced... Oh, and the other thing I should say, hold on, before we go on, you got a couple different things that are traits and talents. In this game, those are pretty much the same thing in that they are always active. So, Thaddeus, you have... let's see here. You got no illusions, so you're immune to mind control and can see through illusions. No mere phenomenon. You've got the ability to move objects and at a distance. Your quirk is nosebleeds. When you manipulate objects, you move one step down on the peril threshold negatively. But the thing is, you've also got a talent called Metal, that when you suffer peril from mental activities, which is what that is, it reduces it by 1. So that means you can use your no mere phenomenon ability at will. Okay. You are otherwise a very educated... Basically, you are... you probably work as a stage magician of some kind, but you do definitely come from means. You are educated both in the traditional kind of ways of education as well as the more esoteric areas. And you've got, a will of iron. So you really are an asset to the rebels. In this world, it's not just a matter of, the colonialists throwing off the empire that is controlling them and setting, rules and laws and blah, blah, blah. There's also nefarious secret societies that are operating behind the scenes in this. And you have been likely in contact with one of those. And what's happened to the start of this session, you don't know the other rebels, but Boston at this point... Oh, it's your first time in Boston in 1776, so why don't we give you the same intro we've been giving everyone, because I think it does a good job here. Let's see. Here we go. Your story starts in Boston. Supplies are low, conditions are bad, and tensions are high. The summer smallpox outbreak has given way to winter. Boston is bracing for more problems, and the British are deeply entrenched. Although most rebels have fled, the Redcoats are not above handing out brutal summary justice to anyone they suspect of having rebel leanings, or to anyone else who crosses them. Although you are surrounded by the terrified townsfolk and the brutal Redcoats, your sympathies lie with the rebels who have gathered from all over the 13 colonies in response to the actions at Lexington and Concord. You have quickly learned to keep these views to yourself and to present a smiling face to the Redcoats and the Loyalist spies. A rebel sympathizer named Henry Jones has contacted you, and that's who put you in touch with this very odd Prussian fellow. You were told that not Prussian fellow, this very odd, what's the word I'm looking for here? Hessian fellow. There is, and forgive me, you probably know this better than any of us, Carl, but during the Revolutionary War, there were a number of German, either mercenaries or auxiliaries, who were deployed as part of King George's army to put down them. The Hessians were drawn in part from the two Hessian states, but also from wider Germany as well. They have been demonized, or at least they've been presented as pillagers and marauders and ruthless monsters by the revolutionary authorities. The Hessians, it's said, have been involved in just brutal pillaging tactics in some of the places where they have been deployed. And one curious bit of curious turn has been in Boston, which I've been describing as kind of like Cold War era Berlin. You know, there's spies who are all working on one side or the other, trying to uncover each other, or trying to work out, you know, or to see their plans come to fruition. It's said that Washington has formally put together a proper army at this point, and come spring is expected to march with his Continental Army on Boston. But one curious thing that has been happening in the last day or so, Thaddeus, it has been that the redcoats who have been patrolling the Boston streets, and I suppose this is news to you, Mr. Fortier. Let me show you here. Not only have they been patrolling the streets, patrols of redcoats have been accompanied by Hessians, individual Hessians, which is really unusual because the Hessians are generally deployed amongst one another. Some of them will speak English, but not all of them, and in fact, not even many of them. And the reason that's of interest to you is because they seem to be conducting some kind of extensive search. That whatever curiosity you may have had about that was satisfied when you met this individual who calls himself Luke. Luke is a Hessian in hiding. He apparently saw something that was of importance to the to the rebel cause, and he is willing to share some of that information. And the rebels need to first get him out of Boston and get him south. He wants to go south somewhere in Pennsylvania. He has apparently some kind of contact with the Pennsylvania Dutch community that's in there, in particular the Fancy Dutch community, which is a more worldly version of the Anabaptist Germans who settled there. And the one condition he had, though, was that he needed to approve everyone. So he met with you, and you left. You got word from your contact that you will be that you have been approved, so tomorrow night you will be traveling with him. It is night. It is October in a very cold winter in 1775. And Thaddeus, why don't you tell us what sort of preparations you think you'll be making here? What do you think you'd be wanting to get ready? Everything you've got listed on your under your I can't remember what it's called, gear, or it's not trappings in this character sheet, but I don't remember what it's called. What is it? Belongings?
Wares.
Wares. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Everything that's under your wares you have. We can assume you got your overcoat, pistol, your knife you're bringing with you. Anything else you wish to prepare, or you think you would prepare before, this is the day before you'll be meeting up with Luke. Come on.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Fortier. Sorry.
No, that's a Thaddeus. So you.
Okay. You're asking which spells? Or what? Wares, gotcha. So how does that work then?
How does what work?
The wares, getting the wares, you said?
Well, I'm just asking you what you'd be doing to get ready. You've been contacted. You're the one who has been met with Luke and been approved.
Oh, okay.
You're not sure why you would be the one to accompany him, but he has approved you.
I'd probably just get, my pistol together. Do I have spell books?
You got a common spell book? Yeah.
Yeah. Get my spell book together, review those.
Okay.
Very scholarly in his preparation attitude.
Yeah.
Probably a little nervous to get out in the field because, he does look bookish.
Yeah. And
he looks like Ben Franklin.
He definitely looks like Ben Franklin because it is concept art I stole from Assassin's Creed 3 about Ben Franklin. So 1 second here. I've also got, let me show you, I remember this time to display or to grab a map here. I got a map to show you guys of the colonies. So one thing, for those who are behind this, I've contacted Andrews MacLeod once about this already, but I really wish they would add this as a PDF for the PDF version of Flames of Freedom, because I can't find an online version of or a electronic version of this map. Let me bring you guys over and I'll show you why this is a bit of an issue. It's a terrific map and has a shit ton of detail in it, but I can't read anything in it. It's such small print.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like it is a big map. Like each of those pages is the size of size of the book itself. It's the fold-out map that's in there. It's a great-looking map, but like, look how small the print is in there.
That's crazy.
It's very hard to, and because there's not an electronic version, we have to sort of suffer with this. It's still a great looking map, and I think we can see a lot of the information. We're just not going to be able to use it in, like, there's information in the core rulebook talking about using this as a hex crawl type thing of how to break up journeys. That'd be extremely difficult when you've only got this tiny, print version of it.
They seem to be absolutely superb on physical quality, but
definitely
electronic quality is a bit.
Well,
they don't leverage it as much as they could.
There's also there's great handouts for actions in combat that likewise are left out of the electronic version, which is a baffling decision. But I don't know what to say. But this is where we are heading from. It's from Boston, and he wants to head down all the way down here to Baltimore. So we can picture you're sort of using one of your either your atlases or perhaps a fold-out map, Thaddeus, in your home, and then you'll be heading north into Pennsylvania to, I think it's Reading here. That's where we're going. Okay.
And so we're taking a boat to Baltimore, and then
no word yet as to how, like, who the sailor is or who's taking you, but that is the word you've heard. And it's around, and this is, 9 o'clock at night. Your servants have probably retired. They've left you with whatever you think your evening, if you have tea in the evening, if you have, a relaxing, I don't know, cocoa I think is anachronistic, but coffee perhaps is anachronistic as well. But you're relaxing, having, maybe it's a sherry. Maybe
tea. Or tea, it could be tea.
Yeah, it could be tea. What was not thrown in the harbor. And then, so you're enjoying that, and it's at that point you hear someone is very hurriedly pounding at one of your doors. Now, Aboxagun, Patience, and Maurice, do you think you'd be going to the front door or the servants' entrance?
Are we alone, or is Leopold with us?
Leopold is with you.
Then we go through the servants.
Okay. Someone is pounding at the servants' door, Thaddeus.
Okay. Is Thaddeus affluent enough to have servants? Or
your servants have all retired for the evening.
Okay.
So they've already gone back to their homes, so you may be... Okay. I think Thaddeus is a confirmed bachelor, as it were.
Yeah.
So...
he definitely collects his coat pistol and goes to the door and, asks, challenges who's there.
Sure. Who's there? And you hear from there, it's Leopold. Open.
Okay.
And the door opens.
Yeah.
And you see Leopold come in, a shorter, stockier man, but like clearly someone who looks like he has the look of someone who works a physical job. But he has a strange bit of discoloration on his skin where he's recently shaved what was an impressive mustache. And then, guys, why don't you each tell Thaddeus what he sees as you guys come in, because he has never met any of you before. Why don't we start with Maurice?
Maurice, he's got the look of a wild man, I guess a wilderness man, a strider type figure, the hooded cloak, shadow over half his face, unshaven. He looks out of place in the streets, basically. He does stand out.
There's also a slight cast to his skin that suggests he may be of mixed race as well. And then a Buxagun?
A Buxagun. Well, he'll be cut last in, and you can see his eyes flickering left and right, keeping an eye on everything that's moving. He's a big lad, big and beefy. Tall Massachusetts warrior.
And Patience.
Yeah, so their Patience is rather tall for a woman, I guess, rather muscular, and she has a big gun with her and even bigger boarding axe.
Yeah.
Looks like she's out for trouble.
Yeah, Thaddeus, this looks like a bit of... If Leopold has either been taken in by a band of rogues, or you may be meeting more of the on-the-ground rebel types here. So they all spill into what is the servants' entrance here. It's probably near where your kitchen and your larder and whatnot would be.
I ask if anyone to hurry them in to get out of the rain, and tell them, well, I put water on for tea. That's all I have. But you are welcome to some. And probably, maybe unconventionally, we sit in the kitchen area where the servants might eat for this meeting.
So let's start some dice rolling here. Thaddeus, why don't you give us a scrutinize check, please?
Okay. And let me see. You said go to the main tab because I'm on.
Yeah, and it'll prompt you. What we've been doing in this game is just there's two different prompts we can set on it. It prompts for the difficulty of this. I think this one will be routine, and we've just been using that to add whatever modifiers in. So if you click on it,
scrutinize.
Click on scrutinize, and then it should prompt you for.
Where am I supposed to click?
If you click on the actual, I think it's the name of the word, isn't it, or the word? Name of the skill?
No, I'm clicking on that. I'm clicking on the apprentice.
Let's see here. Do I have it open?
Hold up. White thing where
there we go.
Name is.
Yeah, there you go.
It's down below.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it was open for editing as well.
Gotcha.
Some stupid historian left it open.
So you said a routine? Okay.
Routine, please. Yeah.
Oh, so close.
Now, you can spend a fortune point to re-roll if you like.
We have fortune points are
4 points, and remember, basically at the end of every significant scene, you get all of them back.
Oh, so might as well use them.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and re-roll at routine.
Okay. It's so close.
Yeah, and you got a good chance of that too.
Oh, there you go.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Now, one of the ways I'll point out, we didn't see a result on it. One of the things we look out for is doubles. Doubles in this are critical successes, critical failures. And most defined actions have specific results for that. Otherwise, we sort of interpret, what the results can be.
Do you count levels of success too?
Yes, that's a good question. Okay. So then what we also do is we measure level of success, and then you'll see for scrutinize, is that perception or is that intelligence?
Perception.
Yeah, perception. What you're going to look at is your perception bonus, your PB. You take your PB and then you add the difference between what you needed to roll in a tens digit and what you did roll. So like your degree of success in this one would be a 4, and then you add your PB to that. That tells you for contested rolls or for like extended actions what your total result is.
So it'd be like an 8 if it's necessary.
And one of the ways this game differs from Warhammer is that rather than seeing your flat stats go up, it's your bonuses that go up. So you'll see, and then like your bonuses play into a lot of different areas. Depending on the version of Zweihander, PB might be used for damage for ranged weapons. CB is combat bonuses used for damage for most weapons. PB is used for initiative, that kind of stuff. So WB is used for peril threshold. Now, what you can tell from that roll, Thaddeus, is for one, not only Luke, but all the rest of these individuals, they all seem pretty flushed, and they seem pretty agitated, like as if they are on the run from something. So, what does everyone else? Thaddeus has offered you tea. You are on the run. We'll tell Thaddeus what happened. We're going to do the recap now. But I wanted to set everyone up in the same scene together so you guys can do your recap and get your renown, your your XP as part of the actual scene. So Thaddeus has offered everyone tea. Maurice, what we can assume is that you have been grabbed on the way here. What needs to happen is I'll leave it for the guys to explain what has happened last time and what's happening this time. But what is the response to the offer of tea? Anyone feel like they need to warm up?
I will accept. Yeah, I will accept it, even if it's just to warm my hands, because I know that we'll be out in the cold again, and so he takes every opportunity to warm up for when he's going back outside. So he'll accept it. He probably won't drink it, but he'll just hold it and warm his hands. Okay.
I think I will react really grumpily to this. Come on, we have just been in a fight.
Is anyone injured? Does it matter to me if anyone? I mean,
I don't think anyone suffered any.
No, nothing permanent, I suppose. I don't know.
Is anyone down on their peril threshold even? I don't.
Am I?
I didn't think you guys suffered any damage. You
I don't think I could heal anyone. So let me just
be like, it's a weak drink for such an occasion.
I don't know, but Thaddeus
peer out the window.
Thaddeus might have some rum.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Thaddeus goes. Very well. Just a second. And
take a swig of that.
I'll go get that. It's probably in another room. It's probably like in the drawing room.
Yeah, it's probably like an actual thing. So he pours something else to warm you up. And as you guys are sitting around in the kitchen, let's do our recap from last time now. So Abuxagun and Patience, you were the ones who were here for Chapter 1. What happened last time?
So we met this nice fellow here, this Leopold Zündel. And he wants to go to Reading, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania.
Baltimore. Yeah. And we agreed to take him there because he has information about the plans of the Hessian army, which would be very much appreciated for the revolution. So that's why we want to get him there. The problem is that he's running away from some kind of Prussian vampire who is running the Hessian army. That is a major problem, and that's why we are very eager to leave the town and get onto water, because we hope that we could lose this vampire there.
And when we went to go and pick up this German, we got there and there were soldiers up there. We had to fish him out and have a stand-up fight with one of these Hessians and also some of the redcoats. So now we're on the run from the soldiers.
Yeah. And they are warned. Basically, they know that something is going on, and they will definitely watch over the harbor more closely. So our idea was to smuggle him into the harbor at night or so, but I think it's more like being fast now than being stealthy.
Yeah, Patience is the captain of the Scotland's Pride. I've already forgotten the kind of boat it is.
Schooner looking?
A cutter, isn't it?
Cutter, yeah. That sounds right. Yes, and that should be sufficient to transport everyone there. What you found, Luke's name is in fact Leopold, and Leopold has Leopold Zündel. His brother is someone named Dietmar Zündel, who is said to be a Spielwerker or a Braucher, a kind of like folk magician amongst the fancy Dutch in the region. And the person who is pursuing them, that is Baron Caspar Alterwoud.
Okay. Well, I guess I can get my things and we should go. I would need to leave word for my servants and for when they come in the morning that I had to step out for some time.
So,
when they mention like the vampire, do I know anything other than like what? You know?
So what he he's been referring to it as is a bloodsucker, a bloodsucker. He describes how when they basically when the Baron was someone, Baron Altefeld was someone who was from a different state. He was Prussian, and he wasn't from, what was the name of the state here? Hanau. He's originally from the Leopold is originally from Hanau, which is in one of the Hessian states. When they arrived in the New World, there were a couple of people who were attached to their Hessian, brigade. One of them is this Prussian senior officer who's also a nobleman. Another one was a British soldier, a British senior military officer, and then a British civilian. And rather than, what they said was they were going on a reconnoitering campaign, but it was deep into the frontier. And as they were traveling, every night, men were going missing from the column. And they were saying it was the locals who were hunting them, who were, using the same tactics that they used during the French and Indian Wars. But when Leopold they doubled watch to try and keep everyone safe. And when Leopold was on watch, he left his post to go and do something, and he found his fellow watch member being basically chewed on at the neck by this Baron. And when he saw that, having grown up in a family of, who has an understanding of the supernatural, rather than just fleeing himself, he collected the Baron's, much of the Baron's writings and whatnot as he could, and then burned his tent down and fled. He was able to rough it in the woods because he's from a hunt, like a more rough and tumble frontier life anyway. But the Baron and his troops seemed to think that he had been taken in by a local village, so they burned the village to the ground and slaughtered every inhabitant. And what he saw, he says, is the Baron riding a horse that had flaming hooves and eyes. He was certain that he was some kind of Hexwerker, or witch, basically.
Yeah.
So he's fled. His route took him to New York, or to Manhattan specifically, which then took him to Boston. They smuggled him out. But it seems that the Baron and the Baron's British allies and his Hessian troops are still in hot pursuit. So right now, it's less than an hour after, maybe it's about an hour at this point, after the fight outside of, there was a very helpful Dutch family. Tell me if you recognize the name here. It is a bit of a unusual one.
Oh, yeah. I recognize. Well, I don't know. Do I recognize that? Yeah, I do.
You do. Yeah. No, this is there was a very helpful Dutch who seemed to have been following what was happening with the Baron. They helped smuggle. Van Helsing and Sons was a warehouse that was hiding Luke, aka Leopold. And that's where they faced these Hessians and these British troops. How they knew that he was there, they don't know. But that's what Luke, or Leopold, I'll stop calling him Luke now because he was revealed. That's what Leopold has witnessed, and that's what you're being pursued by. He's not sure if the Baron is actually in Boston at this point, but if he is, there is a powerful witch, and that is why he wanted you to go along, is that he felt that the impression you left is that you have, you yourself, he would think of you as a Spielwerker. That you are a magician like his brother, and that you can protect them so they can safely flee here and get to Reading. However, "Open up in the name of the king!" comes from the front door. Your lights are still on in your salon. I'm picturing your house is probably like a 2 or 3 story, like one of the row houses.
Yeah.
Not row houses, but you know what I mean, like the brownstones.
Yeah, brownstone.
Yeah. And so you've got I imagine your salon where you had been relaxing. There's the fire burning. You got some lights on there. That was disturbed. The lights are off elsewhere in the house, and the kitchen and servant entrance is near the back. But this is also unprecedented for you, Thaddeus. In the limited time that you have been part of whatever part, if it's the Sons of Liberty or some other rebel organization, this is the first time that you've had British troops pounding on your door. So, everyone shares a look at one another. What do you guys wish to do?
Well, I don't want them to break into my house, so I will probably, it's best to hide, or best to, I'll meet you on the boat and let me see what I can do. Maybe you guys should leave or hide. That's what I say. And I'm gonna
Okay.
I'll try to, right? I'm not like wanted or anything, right?
No, but you know that the British, that's not necessarily what...
Yeah, it's not,
it's, what's the Gage? I think Thomas Gage is the governor right now.
Okay.
Gage has not been... has not required, an enormous amount of evidence in order to hang people as rebels and spies. It's rare that people return from either the small jail on the island or from the prison ships that sit in the harbor. And a man of your not advanced but advancing age, it's said that tuberculosis is running rampant through those prison ships. So it's akin to a death sentence for someone of your stage to be stored for the winter in a prison ship.
I think we have to run
I should
now.
Okay. But I shouldn't ignore them. I don't know.
That's a perfectly reasonable reaction. Thaddeus may be out of his depth at this point.
Yeah.
So
he's going to go to the door. He's going to go to the door, use his guile and charm, see what they want.
Sure.
But probably suggest that you all leave, and if you tell me the boat, I will get there as soon as I deal with our
know is
English
that so Thaddeus is making his way towards the door. He set it down. He is the perfect colonial gentleman. Patience and Abuxagan and Maurice, you've heard Leopold insist that he does not feel safe leaving without Thaddeus. So there is, however, there are no lights on anywhere else in this house, and from the front, the kitchen should not be visible. So the small lights that are in here, the couple candles that he lit for you guys to talk and whatnot, that would be, it's minimal. You could easily put those out, and the rest of the house is in darkness. So you have about a second or so to make a decision of what you're going to do as Thaddeus walks to the front door.
Yeah, and he'll probably like a lantern or like an oil lamp thing,
Sure.
And just to answer the door.
I was going to say, I'm going to make an attempt when he goes to pick up the lantern. I'm going to try and grab him by the scruff of the neck and just say, "We're leaving," and try and pull him towards the back door.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Why don't you... let's just do this. Let's just go in initiative order. So one of the things you're supposed to do at the start of every one of those Vihander games is to set the initiative ladder. Different games, the initiative changes on a round-per-round basis, but we don't do that in this only because when you change pages in Roll20, it inevitably loses all the things, so it's just a pain in the ass to do it. If you could each click on your token and then click on initiative. Carl, initiative is under the damage threshold on the combat tab. So on the right-hand side of about the middle of the page, under damage threshold, you'll see the initiative one.
Oh! A books again.
There you go. All right, and Maurice and Patience, which of you has the higher PB, perception bonus?
4.
Might be 5 with me. Wait a minute. I'm just in the wrong tab. It's 4 also.
4 as well. Which of you would like to go first? Well, Maurice already declared something, so let's have him at the top of the initiative.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then let me get some red coats
I
out
have
here.
no patience. No, sorry.
Yep. Here we go. So we have some red coats. I tell you, it's a great. It's not quite the right time. It's a little, couple decades after the events of this, but Sharp's Rifles is great for providing a quasi-contemporaneous event or a series of shows.
Have you seen Turn?
I have seen Turn. I find there is one actor in it who I just. You're supposed to hate the enemies, like the bad guys in it, and they do far too good of a job in it. There's so many actors in Turn that I do really like, but the guy who plays the psychopathic, junior officer, junior British
the
officer,
guy who never dies. Yeah, I can't.
I fucking hate that character so much. I just, yeah. But Bern Gorman is awesome in that. Jamie, what's his name, is great in that. It's also, yeah. Okay. So, banging at the door. Our thing. Oh, I should put a Hessian in amongst there. Hold on.
You don't have to add more.
I'm going to get rid of a red coat. Don't worry. Where is he here? There he is. There he is.
Why does everyone always want to hurt my character?
Here we go. And I will say you're playing up your. I think that Thaddeus has one of the ways they measure alignment in this game, or the personality traits, is through a binary, a good thing, a bad thing. One of yours, your bad thing is reckless.
Oh yeah.
And the other one is, I can't remember, scholarly or something.
It says wisdom.
Wisdom, yeah.
To say strife and struggle will grant me foresight. So.
Yeah.
Right.
See, you're no stranger to. You're also, incredibly. Some would almost say fearless. All right, let's see here. And get my red coats. Here we go. Okay. All right. 12 is them. Okay. So, first, Maurice, why don't you give us a, let's see, what's the thing I'm looking for here? It sounds to me like you are doing a rough and tumble. It's not a chokehold, but it's kind of like that.
I'm trying to drag him by the scruff of his neck. Yeah.
So make an athletics or toughness check, your choice.
Athletics or toughness? I'll go athletics.
Okay. And do I passively resist? See if he makes it or not?
Yeah, you'll be able to resist it with either athletics with athletics for you.
Okay.
So then, and then what we do is we compare. We first see whether you succeeded or not, and if he gets a critical successes can't be resisted.
Right. Oh, and he just did.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so you're about to grab the thing. Maurice grabs hold of you. I'm assuming you would have spent one action to stride forward or to hustle forward to grab him. You've one more action, Maurice.
So it's basically, I'll go in, grab him. Thaddeus, we're leaving. This won't end well. And can I start to move us as a group?
What I might suggest here, let's do. I have a rules suggestion for you. Bear with me just a moment. Your last action, what you want to do is speed everyone up and get them going, one of the actions you can take is War of Words. Words as weapons.
Oh, yep.
What you can do is, if you test a warfare, make a warfare check. If you succeed, everyone is hastened. +1 to initiative and +1 to movement. And that's to the end of the combat.
And that is warfare.
Yeah.
And we're ignoring the little stars next to the name.
Let's see here. Is warfare start in this? Oh, warfare is flip to fail in this.
Does that mean flip to fail?
Flip to fail means you roll, and so flip to succeed, flip to fail. You roll the dice, and then it's flip to fail. You flip it so the highest of the two numbers is the tens digit. Flip to succeed, you flip it so it's the lowest of the two digit things. So, like, if let's say Thaddeus had rolled a 28 and it was flip to fail, we would flip it to be an 82, which would be a fail as opposed to success. What do you think, Maurice? You want to try?
Well, there's no negative to it, is there?
Yeah.
If I fail.
Critical fail is they suffer a negative combat condition, but that's only if you critically fail.
I'm going to give it a try.
Hell yes.
I'll try and hurry him along.
Okay.
It's just a standard roll.
Critical.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what I have is you grab him, and it's at that you hear the door is kicked open, and you hear the boots of redcoats, and you can hear a German accented voice calling out, "Sundel, surrender yourself!" And then it is Patience's turn. What are you doing?
Oh gosh, yeah. One of those British soldiers has already entered the building.
Yeah, so you picture to situate yourself. You're in the back in the kitchen. From the kitchen, it probably leads down to like a hallway that leads into the parlor near the front. There's stairs there that would lead up further into the house. They've just come in the front door facing the stairs. So they probably don't have line of sight to you just yet, but you can hear them all kind of coming in, and some of them may be going upstairs as well.
Okay. So in that case, is there something like a chair or something to throw in at the door to just hinder them from entering all at once?
Yeah, so you could. I think with 2 AP, you could grab something and try and jam against the door.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Like
Let's make that a... Let's see here. Let's make it a toughness check. Because you're trying to throw your...
Okay.
Or athletics. Yeah. I mean, either of those I think will be fine.
I mean, it's exactly the same, so...
Okay.
I'm going for toughness just because it looks better. So it's a normal check.
It's a normal check. Ooh, you want to spend a hero point?
Yeah. Yes, I would.
Yes, my chairs are nailed to the.
Yeah, it's like bar rules.
Some of my servants take things anyway.
Yeah, no.
All right, what is your brawn bonus?
My brawn bonus is 5. It's
5. Okay, so I'm setting that as that's the target number they need to beat in order to to bust the door down. So you got that in there. You still have one more action or one more AP. You want to save it?
Yeah,
or?
then maybe better to save this one. Yes.
Okay. So then it is the redcoats. All right. So 2 of them are going to be going upstairs. To search up there, and the ones on the ground, I will spend 1 AP from each of them. They're going to try and listen, and it's just going to be a regular awareness. So I need a 55 on this. That's an 85, so I'll have to spend a misfortune point to re-roll. There we go. Oh, come on. 3, 2. So you guys are getting back. There he is. All right. What's that in the back? Who's back there? Come out, Zundel! And then they are going to all come charging down the hall. And then they'll waste 1 AP banging on the door. Come out! In the name of the king! The books are good. What are you doing?
I will go to one of the windows and wrench it open.
Okay.
And what is there any convenient way out to drop down?
Yeah, you guys are on the main floor, so it's probably... I mean, you could easily go out the servants' entrance as well.
Oh, that's too obvious.
The servants' entrance also serves as the servants' exit.
Then why don't I open that door and head out and check what's out there?
A Booksigan's about to smash the window, and Thaddeus is like,
No!
the door. All right, so Booksigan, so one to hustle over to the door, one to throw the door open. You got 1 more AP.
What do I see there?
Good point. Why don't you give us an awareness check as you look outside? You'll get plus 20 on this because I don't think anyone's really trying to be careful.
Here we go. Of course.
No. Oh, you could spend a. You don't have a critical fail. Oh, so one thing, Carl, too. Critical fails, you can't re-roll them.
Can't re-roll. Yeah.
Anything else you can.
Cool.
So,
okay.
Booksigan, you want to re-roll that?
Yes. Why not?
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So what you see outside are 2. I'll move these guys to separate groups here. 2 other redcoats that are leisurely making their way down. And why don't you give us let's make a contested stealth and athletics. Let's see if they, or stealth and awareness, and let's see if they actually spotted you. I rolled a critical fail, so long as you don't roll a critical fail. You didn't succeed, but I critically failed. So I think what you see is as they're walking along, one of them has stopped and is pointing up to the second story. Hey, is someone up there? I don't know. Who's up there? And so you look out, you sort of like run all the way outside, and had they been paying even the remotest of attention, they would have seen you. But you're like, whoa. Next up is Thaddeus.
Yes, Thaddeus. So here's my plan, whether it works or not. I'm going to use no mere phenomenon to get this ruffian to let go of me.
Okay.
I can throw like an object at him.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to cry.
Go ahead and
cry out.
Click on the little speech bubble on that. That'll put that in
it's
chat.
like it says use skullduggery.
Nice.
Use skullduggery, and then I can hit a foe within 3 plus PB, which is pretty good for that.
So
and
Thaddeus has some unnatural gifts here. So why don't well, first let's click on the speech bubble on the talent just to put it in chat so we can see that. Cool, excellent. And then go ahead and give us a skullduggery check. Oh wait, hold on. Automatically hit a single foe.
Oh, automatically.
Yep. So we'll just go ahead and roll 1d10 plus 1.
Nice. I'll just add we'll just add a 10. It's 8 points.
So it's 8. How does 8 compare to your peril threshold, Maurice?
7. Yeah, 7.
7. Okay, so you bring yourself down 1. You sort of hit. What is it that flies and hits him?
I don't know. There's the teapot, because we have tea somewhere on the table. So the teapot.
Boom, hits you and hits the ground. Maurice.
I also get it. I get it. So the thing is, I get a nosebleed. So I go 1 down on the peril.
Yeah, you get a little. Well, the thing is, but you also have the metal talent.
Oh, okay.
That reduces it by 1.
Oh, well, I kind of want the nose to bleed.
You can absolutely still have that. Yeah, just you won't have any.
I'm gonna cry out and go, ruffians in the house, unhand me, help.
Okay, so that is 2. You still have 1 AP if you like. Do you want to try and get free?
I'm using guile. I guess I could get free. Or I was trying to use guile. Maybe it doesn't matter. But
yeah, sure. Go ahead and use guile. Give us a guile.
I'm gonna try to sell it.
Yeah,
really sell
absolutely.
it.
What's and you got a pretty good fellowship bonus, I think, too.
Yeah, it's 49. So plus it's
Your FB is it 4 or 5?
It's 4.
FB is 4. Okay, so go ahead and give us a guile check. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I probably whispered to these guys, "You should leave." See you at the boat. All right.
All right, Maurice. So something unnatural has happened.
They probably hear like the teapot clatter, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. It's not metal. It's probably like ceramics, like smashing.
Yeah, it's probably porcelain.
And I say, "Oh, unhand ruffians in the house." My nose is bleeding. Unhand.
Maurice, what are you doing?
I'm leaving. So I shall take the.
I don't recommend the
door.
window.
Okay.
The door is open. The surface door is open.
So it would be. What is your movement? Be under combat under the like that middle block of stuff. I think it's on the left side.
Oh, 8.
8. Okay. So that's 8 yards. You're able to run. You're definitely able to run outside into the alleyway. Those two, the two redcoats who are out there are approaching the servants' entrance, but they seem to be distracted by something on the second floor. You still have 2 more action points.
Is it possible to actually get past them then?
You could go back run away in the opposite direction, or you could try and just barrel your way through them. One thing I'll remind you guys as well with in Flames of Freedom, if you're fighting human adversaries, you choose whether they are killed or they are otherwise disabled.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
cool.
so you don't
that.
have to, and regardless of whatever weapons you're using, even if you're using guns, it's injuries they can recover from. So don't feel restricted to use like blunt sides or whatever else. It's you guys choose how things end with these guys.
So instead of just hustling, can I just run and use like 3 action points?
Yeah, what we can do is you can try. We'll use the chase rules to try and model you guys all trying to escape if you're going to try and escape from them.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning to do.
Okay. So then, let me put my...
Hoping the others follow.
All right, let's see here. Well, actually, hold on. Right now, they're distracted. You could try and sneak away from them as well.
Oh yeah, I have. I guess I've noticed they are distracted.
You know those 2 recurring idiot guards from Pirates of the Caribbean? That's effectively who we're dealing with here.
I call them the Merlin guards. If you ever watch Merlin, good grief. Whole armies snuck into castles past them guards. Yeah, I'll try and stealth. I'm pretty good at stealthing.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give us a stealth check. Holy smoke. What's your AB?
It's 5.
Fucking hell. That's 9 degrees of success. So jeez. Yeah, you disappear into the shadows of the alleyway, and you still have 1 AB left. Patience, what are you doing?
I think I would just run away as well now. I think.
Okay.
So, but where's Leopold? So I would just maybe guide him and just.
Yeah, assume Leopold's moving along with you on your action.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I think I would just try to stealth my way out, however successful that might be.
So, but like 1 AP to get to the into the alleyway again. Go ahead and give us a stealth check.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Critical success. Beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, you likewise you run out with Leopold and you get him into the alleyway. He is hidden. Then it is the soldier's turn. All right, so we're first going to try. Buxagun is at the door ready to go. Thaddeus has been released by this ruffian. They are trying to bust down the door. We'll use... Yeah, we'll get assistance from one guy. Try and kick this door in. That is not going to succeed. I need to spend a misfortune point for it. I'll roll attacks in chat, guys. I'm just trying to justify use of my lovely Blackbird's dice. Otherwise, let's see here. So re-roll. There you go. All right, so 20, and then their strength, brown bonus. The chair that was put against the door goes flying back, past you, Thaddeus, and the door bursts open, and these guys are in. They will then spend 1 to stride in, and then they're gonna. I'm just gonna roll an awareness with advantage or with assist dice for them. Critical success. So they run in and they say, "There they are." Thaddeus, what do you would have a chance to sort of do a reaction as they burst in?
A reaction.
If you want to say, like, play up more of your guile roll was quite good, and they seem convinced that you are. They're not convinced that you're the bad guy just yet.
Okay. Well, I'll have something to say on my turn, but I don't know. What do you mean reaction? Like kind of bumbly stumble and try to trip him accidentally?
No, that would be on your turn, unless you saved an action point, which I don't think you.
I don't think I. Well, I used guile as a skill, and then I used my.
Oh yeah. So if you want to try and why don't you give us a skullduggery check? Let's see if you. Okay. This will impose, if when they start running, it'll make things more difficult for them.
My heavens! Oh, I'm so old. It hurts. If I can find skullduggery.
I think it's under agility.
No.
You want to spend a coin?
We have. You said 4.
3.
Used 1.
So see the skull with the coins on the eyes? The yellow. It's on the left side of all the tokens.
Okay. Yeah.
The yellow circle tracks your fortune point, your coins. The red one tracks my coins.
Oh, it's a shared pool, though.
Yeah, it goes back and forth.
Okay. Is everyone fine with me trying to pull this off?
Yeah. Just 2.
These things, it's like momentum in Conan. It should be flying, fast and furious with it. So
there you go.
Excellent. Okay, so then I'm gonna.
That's like a. So it's like a 6 minutes. It's like 10 levels.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip to fail on their first pursue check on you guys. And then the ones, the 2 idiots, let's see here, the Merlin guards. Let's see how they do. Okay, I need to spend another coin to re-roll that. Let's see if they can spot the critical fail. Guys, I rolled back-to-back 99s on it.
Oh my goodness.
As I see you guys run out there both thoroughly entranced, but I'm like, are you sure? I'm pretty sure someone's up. That was a light. And they're getting their guns ready and pointing up at the window where from hearing inside, it's their guards who are upstairs.
Yeah.
So that's the red coats. Booksugun, what are you doing?
I'm going to try and get past these redcoats while they're staring up, so I'm going to
it'll be a challenge.
Scoot past them.
Go ahead, give us a stealth. So you hustle. Or actually, you're already at the outside, so you would just give us a stealth check, please. And just don't critically fail.
Get them along. Let's.
Beautiful. Okay. So you are hidden alongside Maurice, Booksugun, or Maurice and Patience and Leopold. I don't think we need to do a chase because you guys are all hidden. So while you guys are racing off into the night, Leopold is quite upset that Thaddeus is not here. We need him. Scotswoman, we need him.
Yeah, I think so too. But you know what? He didn't want to come with us. He wanted to play, I don't know, some fool's errand. So we have to wait for him on the ship.
Okay.
You shouldn't trust someone that drinks tea, says
All right. So there is a bit more of a commotion for you. I think you guys and Leopold run off into the night of the dark streets of Boston, leaving Thaddeus with a house full of redcoats who come over, and they're not even going to try and pursue, and they have not noticed that you tried to trip them as they were going. They race outside a bit, and then the Hessian comes back with who seems to be the like sergeant of the squad, and they say. The sergeant first off says, we know that you have been in contact with this renegade Hessian. What do you know of their escape?
They just came in here to rob me, I believe, and they said they were running towards Beacon Hill.
Beacon Hill? And the
so
Hessian looks
to me is like away from the docks. Up the hill, away from the docks.
Okay.
Yeah.
The German, and
Boston.
this guy seems to speak German. The sergeant seems to speak German as well.
Do we have languages?
I can't remember. I don't think they are tracked in this. You could give us an education roll. Let's just see if you speak how much German you speak.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. That would be under intelligence.
Yeah. They do. In fact, they do track languages in this because there's a whole host of.
Okay. It is starred. It says flip to. So it's stars. I don't know what that means.
Star means if you're not trained in it, it's flip to fail. So
Okay,
that means
so
you're fine. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why education is like having you trained in education is a big deal because it's a hard.
I don't think I. Oh, am I trained in it? It just says.
If you got apprentice in it, and then you got training.
But I don't have apprentice in it. That's one.
Oh,
Like
don't
folklore,
you?
I do. No.
Hold on here. I may have put it on the wrong thing. I
have folklore apprentice.
Let's see here. I may have put it on the wrong one when I set up the sheet. Just give me a sec here. Because I think that's one of the default skills you get as a mentalist. Intelligence, folklore. Oh, yeah, I probably put it in the wrong thing. Hold on, let me double check. I could have... easy as looking at mentalist. Oh, no, you're not trained in education.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
that's
so
fine. I'll misinterpret what
yeah. So let's see. Give it flip to go ahead and roll, and then flip to fail.
Yeah. 64. It'll failed anyway.
Yeah. Well, you could spend a coin to re-roll.
No, that's okay.
That's okay. Okay. So you don't know what they're saying. There's a bit of back and forth between the Hessian and the British officer, and they. The officer, I think they're in too much of a rush to stay around. So they turn back to you and say, we're not finished with you. And then having bullied you, he says, come! And then he and the rest of the Hessian and the others all kind of tromp off, leaving you to deal with your broken front door and everyone else. Now, one of the things you can do with a fortune point is you can edit a scene, just like you can in, like, say, DC Heroes and a bunch of other, games that use that narrative metacurrency stuff. So I mention this only because I don't recall Patience. I remember me saying the name of Scotland's Pride, or the Pride of Scotland. What's the ship called? Scotland's Pride. Do you guys think, Ingolf, do you think Patience would have said beforehand the name of her ship? She doesn't strike me as a real braggy type. But
to be quite honest, no. I think I would have expected him to come along. And why would I tell him the name of the ship?
Yeah. So what you guys could do is spend a fortune point and have, maybe there's a moment we missed where Maurice, just before he released him, pulled him in and whispered the name of the ship.
Yeah, I guess we should do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, I use that as an example. I mean, for one thing, to solve a problem we would have in the narrative, but also to demonstrate one of the other uses you've got of fortune points.
Yeah.
So
what Thaddeus would do is collect his things very quickly, and then,
sure,
make his way towards the docks.
Okay.
Trying to stealth if I need to.
Let's do this. I would like one of our... So, between Patience, Abuxagun, and Maurice, I'm going to ask for an awareness check from you, and the other two can assist this. So remember, the way you roll that is they roll a d10, and that can sub in as the tens digit. Who wants to take the lead on this? Who feels they have the best awareness and the best perception bonus?
I think I should support a books again, but...
Yeah,
Let me just check if
I'm an
that's...
apprentice with 48, so he's pretty
Oh, and the books in, you've got, what do you call it? You got that, like, dark vision ability too, right?
Yeah, I can see in the dark.
So that'll actually
I've got
offset.
that as
That's
well.
a substantially big thing. Then that'll actually change it from... I was going to set it as a hard difficulty, but with the... I forgot about the dark vision, so that'll actually make it standard.
Shadows be gone.
Shadows be gone, yeah. Do you have that too, Maurice?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, either of you guys.
Well, why doesn't Maurice do it, since I've been running in this before, so...
Sure.
give Maurice a go.
Yeah, so Maurice, why don't you give us... so Patience has got a 7, a Buxagun gives a D10 roll, and then Maurice, give us an awareness check.
Was there a bonus, or is it just standard?
Just standard now.
Yep.
Critical success! Beautiful. I don't think that... I mean, Buxagun, you can roll your D10 if you want, but I don't know if there's... It really can't get better than that.
Point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what you can... what you see, Maurice... curious. Because you are confident that as you guys are winding your way through here... you first see it once or twice as you're crossing back and forth, but as you get closer to the docks, you are fairly certain that there is an owl overhead that seems to be following along with you. With a critical success of that, there is no mistake, in fact. Something is following you overhead, and that is extremely unnatural.
She'll point it out to my colleagues here.
Okay.
Has anyone got any knowledge of such a phenomenon?
I think
not in this city. Not in this city.
What happens though is Leopold's reaction actually will trigger a fear check in you guys, because his eyes go wide and he says, "The Wood Saga!" And this, I think, you haven't actually seen anything terrible yet, so this is only going to be a stress check, not fear or terror. The reason that matters is because it depends on how it has an impact on the difficulty of the willpower check and how much peril you suffer as a result of a failure. Would you each give us a willpower check at challenging, -10, please? Not Thaddeus. Thaddeus is not there yet.
Where is willpower?
Critical success. Beautiful.
Willpower is not a skill, isn't it?
Willpower is a stat. Oh, it is a skill. Yeah, it's under... wait.
Just below intelligence.
Just that.
Yeah. So we'll
stat.
just... Okay. And then a -10. Cool.
You want to coin that?
Yeah, I think I could try, yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So all of you, whether it's past experience you've had with unnatural things, or the brief brush with the unnatural that Patience and a Buxagun had on Deer Island, even though Leopold seems terrified, you guys have maintained your cool. What do you wish to do now? Knowing that you are being followed by this thing, does that alter your plan whatsoever, or is your destination the Scotland's Pride?
No, I think we have to go somewhere else now, because we have to wait for Thaddeus and...
Yeah. I think we just delay our arrival at the boat slightly by taking a slightly longer route, hoping that Thaddeus will catch us up. Sure, we still want to get to the boat, don't we?
Is there somewhere where it is rather loud? It's a loud environment where you couldn't hear a gunshot?
Where you couldn't hear a gunshot? At this time of night? Unlikely. No. There's some rowdy taverns that like the Fair Maiden, I think, whatever the name of that one pub that you guys went to.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, because I can't shoot it then.
Okay. I mean, you could shoot it, but...
I could try and shoot it, but...
You have a bow, haven't you?
I have a bow.
Yeah, so just shoot it.
You want to try that?
Let me try.
Okay. Let's see here. So the range for this... Let's see. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do at Buxagun, why don't you give us... I'm assuming you don't want it to know that you're shooting it, so why don't you give us a stealth check? Mm-hmm. Get yourself hidden first. Also, before you do that... Oh, there we go. We did get out of that first scene. So there you go. You get all your coins back.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, so you get yourself hidden. Let's see here. Range attack. I'm just checking for how... here we go. Here we go, distances. All right. So I think it's going to be it'll be minus 10 to the attack just because of the range. What is the range on your self-bow?
It's 13 yards.
13 yards is almost... Oh, you know what? No. You can go ahead at standard. So go ahead. And you could...
I'll aim?
In theory, I think you max out at 2 aims?
Mm-hmm. So that'd be a plus 20, right?
Yeah, so then, plus 20. Or you could do a targeted attack and add plus 1d6 to damage and plus 1d6 plus your combat bonus to damage. And you could combine that with an aim of plus 10.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. So
Come on,
click to
let's have
2.
a bit of luck.
Did you put 2 fury dice in? Ooh. So that is a hit. Why don't you give us a 1d6 exclamation mark plus? It looks like what is your combat? Your CB is a 6, is it?
Yes.
Okay, so give us a 1d6.
Oh, it's an AB. It's AB, by the way, but it's a 6 anyway.
Okay, so you actually add your CB to the targeted attack. What's your CB?
That's 6 as well.
Oh, there you go. Give us a 1d6 exclamation mark plus 6. So that is plus 6 is 9. That's 24 right now, and you could spend...
And I can use a fortune to get another...
They got 30?
One, right?
Absolutely. All right, so...
only a 1.
Oh, no, not to get another one. You treat it as if it's a 6.
Oh, it's just a 6.
It's just adding 6 to the results, so that's 30 in total. So you tell us what it looks like as you snipe this owl out of the air.
That was awesome.
So I pop out the window and it just transfixes it and then it drops straight down.
Yeah, and you hear it hit a roof nearby.
And it bounces off, and I just trot over, pull out my arrow, and kick the bird to the side.
Okay.
And then I just trundle back over. Almost, not quite a smirk on his face, but a look of satisfaction.
Nice. All right. So then, is the plan for our 3 heroes or 3 rebels and Leopold to make your way to the Scotland's Pride now?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, why don't we take our mid-session break now, guys, and we'll come back and we'll rejoin Thaddeus as he tries to sneak his way through the city to join you guys at the Scotland's Pride. So we'll be back momentarily for those listening at home. Okay. Sorry, it's so fucking cold here today that it is a process to get Anna bundled up just so she can go outside.
Yeah.
This whole week is just going to be miserable. I don't have anywhere to go. Fucking hell. Feels like minus 37 right now.
Oh, man.
Yep. It is ridiculous. But by Christmas, it'll warm up. Yeah, like by Friday it'll be minus 14, and then by Christmas Day I think it's like minus 2. So it's gonna be a little bit of a cold snap this week, but not so bad. I suppose that's the one I think. Oh no, you guys had a pretty shitty winter last year too in Texas. So I was gonna say you got something you don't have to worry about.
We're supposed to get cold this week, and for Christmas so we'll see. But I mean, it's not gonna be as. At most, it'll be like what your like minus 2, right?
Or nice weather it is, yeah. But it's relative, I imagine, right? Like it feels. Okay, so if I could ask Darren and James and Carl to hit reconnect on this, I've lost all of your cameras.
I just hit reconnect.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Try to get everyone.
Yeah. Sorry, that was my fault.
I don't have anyone, but I'll do it again.
Okay, I got Darren now. Let's see here. Oh. Okay, I got Carl back, so I was waiting for James. I got a Buxagun as James right now. Can anyone see James, or at least his camera?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So when he gets back, if you could let him know, I can't tell when he gets back. We'll tell him to refresh.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, perfect. If you could refresh your camera once again.
Yep, just doing that.
Perfect. Excellent. All right, there we go. Okay, so then Thaddeus. Having been through this experience, what have you? I guess first off, have you done anything about your front door before you depart?
I could just shore it up, as best I can. I guess I broke it open and destroyed the lock. I could probably just take a piece of cloth or rope and
sure. Let's
try my best to.
Why don't you give us a give us a tradecraft check? That's not a. If you're not trained in it, it's not flip to fail. It's not a special skill. So
okay.
The only reason I'm interested in this one, and it'll be
is it intelligence?
I think no willpower.
Okay.
And it'll be routine plus 10.
Okay.
I don't think fix it. Critical failure.
No.
In fixing the door, You managed somehow to knock it off its hinges. So it is going to be... The reason I wanted to know is because the... if it's a matter of, like, just sort of, you know, sliding the door closed as you're going, that'll be a less conspicuous way of going than having it completely busted. You know, it would be strange for someone with a completely broken front door to be leaving. So, we'll wait for... So I think we're going to have then Thaddeus give us a stealth check. All right, so Thaddeus, yeah. So then, tell us how you, with this busted front door, how are you planning on sneaking away from your house to rejoin the rest of the rebels?
I don't know. I'm just gonna write in charcoal somewhere, or like a scrap piece of paper in the kitchen, and just put "kidnapped" and leave it there.
Okay. I like the idea that he's trying to make it look like, you know,
I got broken into, and
yeah. Okay, so you put that down, you bundle yourself off and head into the night. Why don't you give us a stealth check, please? Just a standard. Well, that's really good. What's your AB?
5.
Holy shit, so that's 10.
I know, this character's broken. These characters are pretty competent. I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely something I really like about this and... Blackbirds as well. Yeah, both. And I mean, with the newest version of Zweihander, what they've done is they've adopted the same way of rolling attributes that you have in Blackbirds. So you roll 35 plus 2d10. So your starting stats are much higher than they are in a lot of other percentile-based games. All right, and as these critical fails show, though, like, you still got plenty of range for... There's plenty of room for failure. They're not superhuman by any means. So you sneak off, Thaddeus, into the night and start making your way down towards the docks. Let me just clear everyone here. Remove all turns. Boom, because then we're going to change pages in a moment here. Let me grab everyone. Now, while he has been extricating himself from his home, or Thaddeus has been extricating himself from his home and putting into place the... charade of him being kidnapped. What are the rest of our heroes doing down at the docks?
Certainly be taking a good look out for any redcoats, anyone approaching the boat, or anywhere near the boat or docks in general.
Sure.
Keeping an eye out for Thaddeus as well, obviously.
Okay. Books of Good and Patience, anything else you wish to do?
Maybe just ask Leopold. I'm sorry, James, go first.
No, go ahead. You're the captain.
No, I just wanted to ask Leopold, do you really think it is necessary to have this Titius guy with us?
He nods and says that the Baron has many unnatural ways of tracking us.
I suppose, yeah. So, let's hope he finds his way here.
If we have a Spielwerker of our own, this may help with concealing us.
Okay.
Buxagun?
I will be working my way towards the ship and trying to, similar to Maurice, keeping an eye out.
Okay.
Being inconspicuous.
All right.
Try to get on board.
So you guys are getting, and I suppose Patience here, getting things ready on the Pride to get things just ready to set sail as soon as you see him. And what you guys see then, Thaddeus did roll quite well. Why don't you, Maurice, you were the one keeping an eye out. Why don't you give us an awareness check, and I'm going to allow you to flip to succeed because you can see in the dark. So Thaddeus, he rolled. You're going to have to beat his 10 in order to actually spot him, but you've got a good chance of, he may be relying on shadows and stuff that you can So flip to succeed is a 35. What's your PB?
4.
4.
Not quite.
Okay, so Thaddeus, you get down, unless you want to spend a coin to re-roll. Yeah, you can't see him. So Thaddeus, you managed to sneak your way all the way down to the harbor, one of the harbors, where you're meeting up with the Scotland's Pride. And you're sort of at the last, one of the last buildings before you make your way down to the actual ship itself. It's probably about maybe about 30 yards to get from where you are down to the ship, and you can see that that Métis man, one of the hooded or the hood, he seems to be up on the ship looking around. Buxagun and Patience seem to be getting the ship ready, and as far as you can tell, why don't you give us an awareness check? Let's see if you can see anyone else around. So Thaddeus, and this is just a standard, please.
Okay. Why is it switching? Right there. I was looking at my spells.
Oh, sure.
Sorry. Here it is. Oh.
You want to coin that?
Nothing. Yeah, just in case.
Okay.
I'm being followed. No.
Okay. So as far as you can tell, it's, you're looking and trying to see, and there's just so much ship moving here in the evening with the winter wind and the ships moving and whatnot. There's just, you can't even reliably check on, or rely on seeing movement to attract your eye for it. You also were completely unaware, I suppose, of that the rest of the party had been followed. Mm-hmm. And you can hear somewhere off in the distance, several things off, there is some drunken sailor who is singing quite loudly, but that's got to be like 5-6 blocks off.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, there's the winter wind coming in from Boston Harbor. What do? They don't seem to have spotted you either.
I'm just gonna make my way to the gangplank and just announce myself there when I get to the bottom. He's probably a bit smug because he sees that the woodsman hasn't seen him, so
So you get about halfway there when you can hear from your left, from the shadows, a low growl. Let me show you what is waiting there. It sounds like a dog, but much deeper and throatier than any dog you've seen, and also substantially larger than any hound you have ever seen. This thing stood up, maybe as tall as certainly you, and even close to a Buxagun, and could easily outweigh you. Somehow, in the middle of Boston Harbor, there are 2 huge timber wolves. And I'd like... I
think he's going to run.
Yeah. Good boy. Everyone click on your token and then click on initiative, please. And Maurice, you definitely see these things come out. And you would see Thaddeus as soon as he moves out of the shadows. All right, and then for them... Oh, I got an interesting trait. I remember now. Okay. There we go. All right. So they're on a 13. Oh, no, Thaddeus. Okay, yeah. So here's something else you can do in Flames of Freedom is you can spend fortune points to bump yourself up on the initiative ladder.
Okay.
Each spot costs you 1 point. Let me double check here. So if you do wish to try and act before these wolves, you can reposition yourself. Here we go. Here we are.
Seems like it would use all 4, though. Right?
Oh, no, you can't do that in this game. Nope.
No.
No, shoot. Yeah, sorry. In this, in Blackbirds you can do that, and I think in Zweihander you can do that, but you can't in this game. All right, so Maurice, you've seen there's these two wolves, and I wanted to find an evocative picture of a timber wolf as opposed to a one that had scale, because every picture I could find that had scale had people hugging them, and that did not quite set the tone that I wanted for this game. But these things are fucking huge. So, Maurice, what are you doing? 3 actions, 3 AP.
I'm trying to find which one slows them down. Which,
that is, I think, wounded is the condition that slows them down. That's your.
You're thinking
of
targeted attack.
Oh yeah, targeted attack
to try and stop them from catching it. Well, at least one of them.
Yeah.
So I was trying to hit him in the leg.
Yeah. That is on.
I can't see on here.
Here, it's on page 223 of the core rulebook. It's disarmed, gutted, disoriented, or prone. And those actions.
That's it. Must spend 1 extra additional AP for movement.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
So I want to do a targeted attack.
Okay. So they are. Which weapon are you using?
My musketoon.
Musketoon. Okay. What's the range on the musketoon?
I assume it says 5 yards. That's what that is it?
Is that what it says? 5?
It's,
yeah,
hang on,
5
let's
yards.
see with mine. I've got the same thing. It's
because it's based on your perception bonus.
It's
what is it? Yeah, well, it says 5 yards.
5 yards? Okay, so then, let me think here. Then that would be
6 plus your PB, a musketoon.
Is it 5 plus PB?
6 plus PB.
Oh, 6 plus PB. Okay, so then, and your PB is 5, so that'll be 11 yards.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's, and they are, let's see here. They are about 20 away from where Thaddeus is, so it's probably about 25 yards. So it's, we'll say into the second range band for you, which means minus 10 to your roll, to your attack.
Okay. And can I do aim in conjunction with
target? Absolutely.
Attack?
Yep.
To just cancel that out.
Okay.
So I just take one good shot, basically.
Yeah. You can call out if you wish to as well.
Yeah. I mean, I just get on board, and I'm going to take a shot at either one. They're both.
Okay.
Neither of them's closer than the other, are they? So.
No.
Okay. So I just take a shot. So there's no minus.
Okay. Holy smokes! All right. Then they can dodge this. There we go. And they got a 60% chance of doing so. Let me. Because if you had aimed, normally they would have, Carl, the way defenses work to sort of even things out, whatever modifiers are inverted and then applied to the defense. So if you aim twice and say you had a net plus 20 to hit, it would be minus 20 to the defense. So it avoids that sort of like, endless cycle of attack, miss, dodge.
Yeah, is it based on the success levels too?
Success level doesn't factor in on weapons other than criticals. Criticals inflict an extra D6 damage, and they cannot be defended against. So here we go. That is, okay, so you fire at this thing, and it misses. Then it is Buxagoon's turn. What are you doing? So, and I'll give you a marking here so you know which ones have used their actions here.
I will shoot the one which has taken its action.
Okay. Your range is about the same, isn't it?
I'll aim and do the cold shot again.
Say again?
I can aim and do the cold shot again.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, targeted. Yeah.
Targeted, okay. And then that means I should put in a second fury dice, right? So.
Yeah. And you want to hear? Oh, so close. You want to coin that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh,
and that would be so. It'd be just your. It wouldn't be plus 10. It would be A net of 0.
Oh, okay.
Because the range, that is in your second range band.
Yeah, my range. Oh, I suppose it's the same. I'm on 14 yards.
Yeah, because he's 25 yards away right now.
He's 25. Okay, yeah. So it's definitely in second. And let me do that.
There you go. Nice. All right, so I have to spend another action to try and dodge. Go. I failed. Schwack. Holy smoke. So 24. Do you want to spend a coin to bump that up by 6?
Yes, please.
That is incredible.
I'll take that for $1.
All right, so that's actually enough to flat out kill one of them. What does it look like as you... How many 6s did you... Oh, yeah, that's awesome. One exploding.
Yeah.
Okay, so that... What does it look like as the first one is dropped?
And it cartwheels until it lies still in the snow.
Yeah, so it's about to leap, and then it's hit and drops down dead. The remaining one is going to... oh, boy. It will be charging, I believe. So... The charge is... Here we go. Move double movement. If I hit on this, I do 1 extra fury dice damage. So everyone who has not acted at the start of this again is for Carl's edification. At the start of every combat, everyone starts with all their AP. So that's why these guys have it. In Blackbirds, there's a surprise round that can happen if you're doing an ambush, where you get to take all your actions, and someone who is surprised has no actions to defend. Otherwise, there is always the opportunity to try and defend. So even though Patience and Thaddeus have not acted this round, you still will have AP to be able to act. All right, so I need to spend 2 to charge in, which leaves me 1. This will be a 50% chance. So I got 50% on the snarling bite here.
When do I declare when I want to dodge?
Only if you're hit. Only if you're hit, okay. You have to worry about spending an AP to try and dodge. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. Oh, so I got a hit. So now you can dodge, and you can, in this game, you have to use melee to defend against melee.
Well, there's like a dodge button.
But dodge, in this game, dodge can only be used against range attacks.
Oh, so it'd be a parry, I guess?
It'd be a parry, yeah. Whatever your best parry is. So I think it's parry simple is your better one. Or melee simple, sorry. There's a drop-down menu.
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect. Yeah, and then go ahead and make your roll. Yes, oh, nice. Wow. So this thing comes slamming in, and it turns out our resident Bostonian scholar is a little more nimble than you thought. You batter that giant maw to the side, but its head is almost up near where your jaw is. Now, in spite of the last one, does he save it to dodge? I think he's going to have to. Nah, he's serving his master here. No, he has to serve it for a dodge. He can rough and tumble. That's what he can do. I am going to try and yank your leg out from under you, Thaddeus. One of the things I really love about these games, standing up costs 2 AP instead of just 1. So trip, it costs 1 to try and do it, 2 to try and get up. So it is an actual useful tactic. Knockdown, so athletics or coordination. I got a 55% here. That's enough. Thaddeus, would you give us a coordination check, please?
Coordination?
This thing's trying to knock you down.
It's back on main, right?
Yeah. It's an agility thing.
Ooh.
Excellent. So it tries to first chomp down on you. It then tries to go for your ankle to knock you down. You're nimbly able to get yourself back, but yeah. All right then.
Does that count an as a? Does that?
Resisting is always a free. That is a reaction called resist. Resisting is always free.
Okay.
There are certain things. Resisting is free. Opportunity attacks are a thing in this game as well. You need to use a maneuver action to disengage, which I think is 2 AP. There's other things that can trigger, like a critical success on a defense allows you to do a counterattack. Mm-hmm. So, Patience, you're up next. 3 AP. What are you doing?
Yeah, I would wait for Thaddeus to enter the ship, and then I would try to just push us away from the.
Okay, so you want to wait to go after Thaddeus? Okay.
Yeah.
So delay. So Thaddeus, you're up next. What are you doing?
I guess I have to maneuver to get out of engagement, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just moved 3 yards closer.
Okay, so you get 3 yards, cost you 2 AP.
Yep.
And then, do you want to save that last one, or do you want to hustle to try and cover that last? I said you're 15 yards away.
I thought for the dodge, I thought that counted.
You always get all your AP back at the start of your turn.
Oh, nice. Okay,
yep.
So then I will. Yes, I will then use the extra AP to start moving towards the ship.
Yeah, and your speed is what? You said a 10?
Is it? I don't know what my speed is.
Your movement is under that middle of that. What do you call it? The middle of the
combat.
Yes.
Movement is 8.
Is 8. Okay, so if you choose to spend, and then what you could also do is, if this thing chooses to attack you again, you could spend a coin on their turn to get another AP to defend. Okay. This game, you're free to take those coins at any point. Blackbirds, you got to do it in your turn. So, Thaddeus
I'm 11 yards closer, so I guess almost there.
Yeah, you so 4 yards away. Patience, what are you doing?
That is so uncool. I mean, you could have at least made an effort.
You know what he could do is he could spend a coin to get an extra AP and do one more hustle and jump into the boat.
I think I'll do that then.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll do that. He.
So he pushes himself and leaps into the boat.
He probably holds on to his hat. And he just jumps and rushes into the boat.
Yeah, I think Patient nods approvingly for this really showing of courage here, and then pushes the boat off.
Okay.
So that we get a little bit further from the kai. So this wolf jump if you wanted to. But...
Yeah, why don't you give us... I'm just going to read it. I know it's mechanically the same bonus for you. I'm just going to see what the game says that toughness reflects. Because it feels like it would be a toughness check to push yourself away, but I don't know if it's just resisting. It's stamina and endurance. So toughness is more of an endurance thing. Athletics is more of an exercise of muscle. So why don't you give us an athletics check, Patience? I'm going to use this to set the difficulty for the inevitable leap as this wolf comes leaping onto the boat.
Yeah. So is this where my sailing talent is?
Yes, most definitely. Yep.
Yeah. So then I would get an extra plus.
You know what I'd also allow too? If you're going to spend your whole round on it, we'll interpret it as if you are aiming. So you'll get an extra +2. So basically, you're going to need a +30 on this roll.
Okay. So let's see. And then I fail.
Oh, hold on. No. You put the plus sign in, I think.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. That's...
The universe imploded.
Yeah, that was.
So it's a 23 out of 52.
Yeah, it was a trend. Yeah, but whatever. So
there we go. Okay, 96. That's awesome. All right, so then your BB. What is that? Your brawn bonus.
5.
5. So that's an 8. So this thing needs to get a degree, 8 degrees of success on an athletics check to be able to reach you. But Maurice, you're up first. What are you doing?
I am gonna try and shoot it before it gets a chance.
I think your musketoon is a load of 1, right? Because if you're fast loading.
Only 1.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll do 1 to load, and then I'm just gonna aim and shoot.
Okay, go right ahead. This thing cannot defend.
It'll be +10, won't it?
Yeah.
Aim.
Oh, okay, because it didn't. Yeah,
because I use
its AP yet.
Yep. And I hold on. In this game, I know in Blackbirds the Fate Weaver is restricted by what they can spend. I'm trying to remember if that's the case here. I think I can spend misfortune points to because I can convert it over for APs to try and defend. Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume I can't right now. So that is a hit. I am going to spend one of my misfortune to try and dodge that. But I get -3 to my dodge, or -10 to my dodge. So this is going to be against a 50, 5-0. No! All right. So you hit this thing. Do you want to... so that'll be 2 levels down. Do you want to spend a coin to add 6 to that damage?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So then, would you give us 2 chaos dice roll, please?
Yep.
Yes! All right. So that is a serious injury. What we're rolling for now, Carl, is the injury in the thing. Moderate injury, you roll 1 chaos dice. Serious is 2. Grievous is 3. And let's see here. Would you give us a percentile roll, Maurice? 32. Cracked collarbone. So this wolf is bleeding, and a caregiver must treat injury until fully recuperated. You cannot use rough and tumble. So it cannot try and trip any longer. Can't use any rough and tumble actions. I think that's it for Maurice. Booksagun.
Yep. I will. Can I get a shot in?
You, yeah, what's your load of your weapon you're using?
Oh, yes. So I will. Yes, so I'll need to take 2 to load, I think.
Is it 2 for the self bow?
Apparently, it says there. So
2 to load and 1 to fire. Go right ahead.
1 to fire. Yep. Okay. No aiming though. This is going to be tricky. So a -10.
No, this thing's much closer now. This thing's only
it's like 15
yards away.
15 yards, yeah.
Okay, so...
And that's the thing on the cusp of your range band, so we'll say it's closer. That's a success. I'll spend another misfortune to try and dodge this.
Not right, though. I had an extra...
An extra +10?
Dice. I had an extra fury dice that I shouldn't have had.
Oh, okay. Well, let's take... Go ahead and click on it again. We'll treat it as a hit. We'll take the damage from the second roll. With only 1 fury dice.
Right. Yep, let me just...
So 10. All right, so let me roll the dodge. This is once again a 50-5-0. Fucking critical fail.
Yeah, failure.
Oh my god. Now in this game, I think there is an effect of critical fail on a defense.
It decides to headbutt my arrow.
Oh man. It suffers 2d10 plus 2 peril. So first off, that is, do you want to spend a... that's 1 damage level so far. Do you want to spend another coin to bump it up?
Yes, please.
Okay. That's 3, 2. So that is down to 5. He's nearly dead. So would you give us 3 chaos dice roll, please?
3 chaos dice.
Come on. No further injury.
Oh.
But would you also give us a 2d10 plus 2 roll, please?
Oh, for its peril.
Yeah. And these don't explode, so 9. Yeah, it's 1 level down on its peril threshold as well. All right, so then this thing is quite badly hurt. It is still, clearly, if this was a natural animal acting on its own, it would have fled at this point. There's no reason for it to do this. So if you needed any further reason to understand that this thing is unnatural, it charges towards, you know what, Leopold. It's going to charge Leopold. And actually, no, Thaddeus, I think you're the one it's been attacking. So it charges up. This is going to be a 55% chance here. Let's say that's a miss. I'll spend a misfortune to try and re-roll. Let's see. Here we go. And fail! So it clatters onto the deck. And it can't do rough and tumble, so really that's all it's going to do. I'll save 1 for a defense. Thaddeus. This wolf has... Oh, hold on. I need to make an athletics check to actually get to the boat first. Hold on. So that's what my last action would have been. So before the attack, This would have been and I need to get 8 degrees of success. Its brawn bonus is a 4, so I need 4 degrees of success. This is against 55. So ignore what I said. This thing lands in the water. The frigid water of Boston Harbor. And you guys are slowly beginning to make your way away. So, what do you guys do on deck as this thing, you beginning to slowly drift away from this? Put all the coins back into your hamper there.
I think, Buxagan, I need you here to look out. Because he can see in the dark and I can't.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there was anyone like controlling these creatures in any way. If there was anyone sort of trying to hide in the shadows, sort of having some sort of mental link with these wolves or something.
Yeah. So you will not need to make a check for us. Let me show you what, because this is quite clear who awaits in the shadows. The other thing you're going to need to deal with is you guys have been firing guns off down by the harbor, and now you're going to try and make a what do you call it? A secret escape from while they're looking out for smugglers and rebels, or smugglers and spies. So, what you can see, Maurice, you're looking up and you can picture there is a darkened alleyway where the road itself will be going up. But the surrounding buildings on either side cast the whole thing in perfect shadow. You're able to see in that. But sitting astride a huge like a charger, like a cavalry charger horse, coal black in color, is this man. And his eyes glow just like the illustration, the amazing Magnolia illustration. And as he's staring at you, perhaps it's your eyes playing tricks. It's almost like things waver for a moment, as if you are having a vision. Smoke begins billowing from the nostrils of this horse. Its eyes seem as if like a jack-o'-lantern with flames licking out from inside. And even its hooves, as it hits the ground, sparks fly as if a blacksmith's hammer striking hot steel, as it stomps its frustration at you fleeing. Would you give us a willpower test at -30, please? You could spend a coin if you want to re-roll that.
No, I think he's going to find that pretty disturbing.
Okay, so go ahead and give us a 3d10 plus 3 roll, please. Not exploding, no exclamation mark.
3d10 plus
3, please.
Plus 3.
18. How does 18 compare to your peril threshold?
That is 2, just under 3.
Just under 3. Okay, so move yourself 2 further down on the peril chart. And what reaction do you have as you see this?
Yeah, it'll be wide-eyed, but he'll turn around and go, move the boat faster! He's there on the shore. And then he'll be pointing into the darkness.
Leopold, kind of jumps up and he says, Sir Baron! Abuxagun, Patience, and Thaddeus, what are you guys doing while the others are freaking out on the boat?
I think Thaddeus is trying to catch his breath. That was great. That was a lot of excitement for it.
Yeah.
Nearing 70 old man.
Patience and Abuxagun?
Darby saying, Patience, what do I need to do?
Just look out that there's nothing in the water hitting us or so. And I say to the others behind, I don't think he can reach us here, so we are safe for now.
And then you hear whistles coming from the harbor. Smugglers! Spies in the harbor! and you can hear the deploying. There's British ships that have been moored in the harbor specifically to look out for smugglers and spies. How do you plan on dealing with this?
Yeah, I think actually, so this cutter is maybe a little bit smaller and more able to navigate in this
most
smaller
definitely
areas.
Yep.
Yeah,
and much faster than the way that the inspectors, they may have cutters themselves, but like you will get a huge head start on them and be away from shore and away from light. Why don't you do this? Patience, give us a 1 chaos dice roll. Okay. I'm assuming it's going to be overcast unless you roll a 6.
Yeah. And I think we don't need light. So
no, exactly. So that'll help you. So really, I think what we'll do is this is just a matter of getting some distance here. Let's see here. Why don't you give us? Well, tell us. Why don't you tell us what your strategy is for escaping from Boston Harbor at this point, and then we'll figure out what dice roll you need to make, and a Booksagun could assist you with this.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think we need to get out of the harbor itself, and then there is all the small islands, maybe.
Yeah, actually, hey, let's take a look at that. It's a good point. That is another really great map in the game. Boston Harbor itself at this time is just full of tons of
little islands.
Yeah.
It still has a bunch.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does, of course. You know what it is? Because when I was reading up, I'm not familiar with Boston whatsoever. When I was reading up on the like how long it takes to sail between different things too, like I guess there was some kind of really bad hurricane in the 20s that ended up filling in a lot of like it just dredged up a bunch of silt. So like Deer Island, is actually a peninsula now.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my tidbit of history for today.
Yeah, I think we know that on Castle Island there's this British troops stationed. So we would not go through Castle Island, and I'm just.
Yeah, if you wish, you could. You know what? Here, let me move I'll move all your tokens to the side here. Sorry, guys, so you can see freely the full map here. What you could do, I suppose. Actually, I can just do this. There we go. That's even better. You could just cut your way around the North Shore there, or like the.
Yeah.
And then back through.
Yeah. Let's try to do that. Maybe they won't see us there, and then.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think. Why don't you give us a navigation check? This will be a sailing thing, so you'll get the +10 on it. And then we'll also give you a routine. You know this harbor quite well. We'll give you another. It would normally be routine, so you'll have a net +20 on your navigation check.
Okay.
The only reason I'm making you roll is only because of the conditions, is because it's the middle of the night. You're trying to navigate without light, with just your two keen-eyed companions.
Yeah,
and
that is why I have a Booksagun with me.
And a Booksagun, you can also roll a. That's pretty freaking amazing, but yet not a crit. A Booksagun, why don't you give us a assist dice? 1d10. Two. Okay. So, while it is a bit tense, what do you think, Ingolf? What does it look like as you guys make your escape from the harbor and disappear in that strait between what is it? Winnisemet and Noddle Island?
Yeah. I've been here before. That works each time. Just be calm. Be quiet. And it works.
Leopold is a little nervous, but he takes your instruction. So there's lots of shouting, there's lots of lights, there's lots of boats deployed to the water and whatnot, but they are all too slow. And you guys are able to make your escape off out of the harbor and off to the open water. So, the trip to Baltimore will take you... Oh, and yeah, all the coins are back with you guys. And we are at night here. Okay. Anna says, don't trust him. Don't trust Dad!
It's so crazy how, like, there's so much water in that harbor. Because now it's all filled in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, even like when I was looking at the map from the game compared to like Google image
Today.
things, yeah, like
Yeah.
you can do a Google image search for the whatever it is, the Strait of Charleston, the one that leads from into Old Boston, and it's like it's a fucking paved over intersection in the middle of nowhere now, or in the middle of Boston, not in the middle of nowhere, but. You would never know that it was originally like the only way to get to Boston and off of it on land.
That's great. I guess it's all been dredged or silted or must be.
Partly it's, I think from what I understand, it's partly was silting over, partly reclaimed land. And then just because as the city was growing, it needed the more stuff. But... okay, so you guys are sailing off in the darkness. Let's talk about what our next stage is going to be here. So, now we're going to do the trip to Baltimore. So, he's howling at me. There's a car stopped on the other side of the street. This is how protective Anna is. There's not even anyone getting out of it. All right, so what we're doing is we're making use of the overland travel rules. So this is going to be a... Let's see here. These are on page 202 of the core rulebook. I'm going to break this down into 3 stretches, 3 medium-length stretches. One to, I think it's Newport. Then one to, let me go to the map. Maybe that's a more helpful indicator here. And I think I've already got your tokens already all over there, too. All right. Nope, wrong map, Madison. Here we go. All right, so here we go. I don't have your tokens over here, but I think you guys can all see. So first one is going to be a stop off in Rhode Island. So it'll be Boston to Rhode Island. From here down to here. Then from Rhode Island to Newark in New Jersey. And then the final stretch up into Baltimore. Then you'll be traveling. Once you get to Baltimore, we'll then start a new one to head off to Reading. Which I think is there. No, that's not yet. Reading's right there. There we go. So,
yeah, and there was something we needed to get in Baltimore. There was, I remember that we have to go through Baltimore first. There was something.
Yeah. Partly because it was faster to get to Baltimore and then travel overland from Baltimore to Reading than it was to straight go overland. Plus, with careful navigation, you are more likely to avoid the pursuers going overland or going down the coast. Okay, so then I was double checking here. I'm just double checking to see how often you make the check. I think it's once per stretch. Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay, so the decisions you guys need to make for setting this up is, it's like, I mean, I think a lot of you have played One Ring or Adventures in Middle-earth or something like that, where you have different roles that you take in overland travel. The 3 roles are Trailblazer, Quartermaster, and Scout. The Trailblazer has folklore or navigation that they use for their test. I'm just going to go and close the blinds because otherwise she's going to keep yelling. I'll be right back. Hey, Goober. Hey, honey.
So folklore, I'd be like 53 effectively. Because I have that as apprentice.
Navigation at 57.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Okay.
58.
So I could-
Pretty similar.
Okay.
I assume Scout's going to be perception sort of based, probably.
Awareness or stealth?
What's quartermaster? Can you say yet?
Quartermaster is heal or survival.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
They're all pretty similar for me, actually.
Maybe there's not
Okay,
much in it,
sorry
but
about that.
maybe you go the trailblazer and I'll go the scout.
One of the things as well, if someone, you can play more than one role, but that will increase the difficulty rating by 1, and then someone can also assist, so you can have an assist dice going in. So if you happen to have somewhere that you feel that the party is weak in, you will have that. So, what are you guys thinking? Who's playing what role here?
What was the quartermaster, just to confirm?
Heal or survival?
Yeah.
And the scout is awareness or stealth.
Yeah. Well, I can do either of those quite comfortably.
It's probably better if I aid. If I have, I can aid with either trailblazing.
I mean, not to challenge the rules right now at this moment, but shouldn't there be a pilot check when dealing with a boat in some way or form? I mean, it's a little bit weird that.
Well, I think pilot is an instantial thing. Like, it's the check is not whether you're dealing with a hazard to avoid like rapids or something like that. If that comes
okay, I
up,
see.
pilot would definitely be that. But I think the navigation is more for the long haul.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm. But it's a good point. It's a definitely like with having such a limited skill list in a game like this, every skill should have some specific place in the gameplay where it really excels. So if you're saying you want to be able to have some rapids come up, then don't you worry.
Yeah. No, it's just weird that being able to steer a boat has no effect on.
I think
on
I should have actually made you make a piloting check or a pilot check with that last one rather than navigation. To be honest, I just missed it on the sheet.
Yeah. Okay. So it's okay.
So who's best on trailblazer, folklore or navigation? I could do 57. That's my best of the two.
Yeah, like I say, it's
Anybody
58 for
better?
me, so it's virtually exactly the same. So
And then quartermaster, healer or survival?
stealth, I've got 60, so that's probably my best.
Yeah, stealth, I've got 62.
Oh, so maybe you do the stealth, I'll do the navigation then, unless patience has got.
I can with survival. If we are on sea, I have 58, I suppose.
Yeah, because your piloting thing would always apply to basically all of your checks on this kind of travel.
Yeah, survival,
That's a good idea.
63. Anyway,
Is there any importance on any of them? Is one more important than another, or is it
Not
fairly-
really. They all have consequences of failing the checks. So it's
So
important.
which one should we assist, do you think? This, because I haven't done this before, I don't think.
I have not either. So
The only one I can assist on reasonably is the first one.
So the way assisting works in this one, it's not like in PF2 where you're making a roll yourself. You're just rolling a D10, and then the acting character can choose to sub in that as their tens digit.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter which one,
Yeah, it
than
doesn't
which
matter.
one we choose, basically.
yeah.
So, but maybe it's nice so folklore or navigation, that should be something to use or Abuxicon also can do, and then the awareness of stealth, or I don't know. So it's
Okay, so Thaddeus going to assist patients with the navigation, was it? Is that...
No, with
No, I don't really want to do navigation. That is the thing. I shouldn't do the navigation stuff. I should do survival or piloting or something like that.
right.
So
Survival.
So quartermaster. Okay, so patience is going to be the quartermaster. Who is being trailblazer is navigation or folklore.
That's probably Darren's character. Because
Yeah, I can do either.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're doing the trailblazer, and then Buxagun is our scout, and then which one do you want to assist, Thaddeus?
the first one, the
Trailblazer or the
the
quartermaster?
Trailblazer.
Trailblazer,
Yeah,
you got it.
Trailblazer.
Okay. So then, first thing, the only because you're trying to avoid people, I'm going to make the terrain. No, let's say the terrain is standard. This is no modifiers to it. There's no need for us to make things. It is going to be a dangerous. The threat level, however, is going to be high because you are being hunted, not only as a smuggler, but also because there is a Prussian vampire on your heels. So for this first trip to, this will be the first 3 days going from, or 2 days, 2 days going from Boston to Newark or Newport. Okay, so then first up, Trailblazer. So our Trailblazer is Maurice, and Thaddeus is assisting.
Yep. So I'll roll my 10.
So a
D10.
standard difficulty of navigation, please. Nice. Okay, so 38 or 48. Both of those would be successes, but neither a critical success. So here, success, because of you, the terrain eases by 1 step positively for this stretch. So because of you, you're adding, the subsequent rolls will be at plus 10. So what do you think that looks like in the... oh, that's awesome.
I think he'd be using sort of knowledge of the depth of the water and things to be able to get closer to the shoreline to get cover from the trees and things for the sort of stealthy side of things.
You maybe know where the shoals and the,
just keeping an eye on the color changes in the water and things like that, just to...
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. So yeah, you're, as this part of our montage, Maurice is keeping everyone close to the water, and because of your success, you get plus 10. I would ask that everyone give us either a survival or toughness test at plus 10. Your choice of which one you want to make. This is the impact of this first trip. Success means you suffer no peril from the overall trip. Look at that. Great.
Cool.
And then Thaddeus, is it toughness or navigate or survival you want to roll at plus 10? Carl?
What's that?
Are you rolling a toughness or survival at plus 10?
Oh, all of us are. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh. Do you want to coin that?
I'll try, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, wrong thing. So go ahead and roll again at plus 10. Oh,
seasickness kicks
all
in.
right. Because would you roll 2d10 plus 2 and compare that to your peril threshold, please? Holy shit!
That's
2d20. Okay. Good lord, Daddy has a heart attack.
17.
17.
So 19.
Oh boy. So how many ticks up on your peril threshold is that?
Well, I don't how. I mean, I probably would not have been able to
let me
heal.
show you how to read this. We go to your combat tab.
Yep.
And
I was imperiled because I was bleeding.
Oh yeah, that's right.
now I'm
So
2 more up.
that is
Eight.
two more ticks down. So you're ignore 2 skill ranks. Mm-hmm. So how is it this? Everyone else seems to be pretty hale on this. What do we see from Thaddeus in this first stretch of the journey?
It's probably a combination of seasickness and exposure. It's cold. He's old. He probably gets like some sort of extreme cold, maybe bordering on flu, and it's also seasick.
Yeah. Now, under your wares,
I do have metal. Oh, I do have the metal thing. I don't know if that'll help.
Yes, yeah, it would. Yeah. So we reduce it by 1.
Okay, well that's good. So he gets over the
but
flu.
that's only that's only for mental peril though.
Oh, only for mental.
Yeah,
okay.
only for mental, because there is physical peril, mental peril. But what you can do is under your wares, I believe you have something called smelling salts.
Oh yeah, I do.
What smelling salts do is they immediately reduce your peril threshold by 1, but you gain 1 conflict.
Okay. That's probably good to reduce my threshold.
When we get to the next harbour, we should get a 5 kilo sack of that.
Yeah, smelling salts.
Okay.
Okay, so let's add 1. If you're choosing to do that, just reduce your peril by 1. Okay, and then roll your... and then increase your conflict to 1.
Where's
conflict's up next to where the chaos dice are?
Got it. Yeah, got it. Okay.
All right. So that was the first. Next up will be the quartermaster. So in the middle of the journey, and because of the success of Maurice, this is increased by 1. So you got plus 10 to this roll. Patience.
Yeah. Let's see.
You want to coin that?
Yeah. This is. It doesn't work so well today.
Yeah.
The captain got seasick.
No. Maybe I couldn't get fish.
Yeah, this is to do with your rations. There you go. Success. All right. So on a success, everyone eats. So you get your normal day's worth of provisions. So you guys are doing well. I'm assuming you've provisioned yourself up for the journey. Mm-hmm. And then you need to make another endure check. So this will be at plus 10. Once again, either toughness or survival for this part of the journey, guys. Toughness or survival at plus 10 because of Maurice's roll. Success. Oh! Booksagun, you want to
yes, please.
coin that?
Toughness.
Okay.
It's not like a Booksagun.
Jeez.
Oh, no, Thaddeus.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Definitely a landlubber.
yeah, really, truly. How did everyone else do? Booksagun, did you fail both?
I failed big time.
Okay, you failed, and then how did both Patience and Maurice did all right? All right, so for the fail, Booksagun, give us a 2d10 plus 2. Compare that to your peril threshold. And critical fail, oh god, Thaddeus, 3d10 plus 3.
Okay.
And then compare that to your peril threshold.
Ouch.
Oh, that was d20s. D10s, yeah. Okay.
So 19 and 3 is 22.
22. How does that compare to...
I have an 8.
An 8. Okay, so then let's take a look at how many stages up that is. First, so Booksagun, is that even over is the 10 over your peril threshold?
No.
Nice, so you're fine.
I'm fine. Okay.
And then 22 is 1, 2, 3 more steps down. So
if I use I'll take the conflict to use the salts, I guess. So I have 2 conflict.
Yeah, so you're down
and
to...
I'm ignoring 3 ranks. Yeah, I'm almost incapacitated.
Yeah, so Thaddeus is just like green to the gills for this trip. It's like you say, Carl, like it's just the weather, the cramped conditions you're having to live in.
He's too old for this.
Definitely. Oh. All right, so then the final...
Quick one. Sorry, I'm having a rules failure here. That 10 is above my peril threshold of 7, but below my 13.
Oh, then it's one step down.
1 step, yeah.
Yeah, 1 step down, sorry. Okay. Then the final one is the scout. So, Abuksagun, you need to make an awareness or stealth check, and you'll be getting plus 10 because of Maurice's roll. And this determines the threat level for this stretch of the journey.
Oh, come on. Come on, Abuksagun.
Yes! So success, you effectively reduce the threat level by 1 chaos dice. We're only going to roll 2 chaos dice to see if anything dangerous happens on this journey. And then the final thing is 1 final endure check. And this will be a plus 10 once again for everyone. Plus 10 survival or toughness. There you go. Maurice, no problem. No problem, Abuksagun. Come on, Thaddeus.
I know.
You got this.
I still get the plus 10.
Still get the plus 10, yep.
Oh,
You want to coin that?
Thaddeus did it.
Hey, nice, Thaddeus.
yeah. I would try to
Okay.
do this again. So,
You got it.
on. So traveling is more dangerous than fighting. No, we can.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So no one suffers any further things. Now, who wants to take the credit/blame for rolling the 2 chaos dice?
That's the captain. Must be.
Yeah. Okay, I'm doing that. Come on.
So roll 2 chaos dice for us, please. There you go. So this leg of the journey is completely uneventful. Now,
Yeah, you say that, but Thaddeus is almost dying there in the ship.
yes. Okay, so let's see here. During regular gameplay, characters can simply sleep to restore peril with natural recovery, bind wounds with the heal skill, and use other medicines to recover. However, once a party has struck out in overland travel, they cannot use their damage and peril threshold. They cannot restore their damage and peril threshold tracks or account for recuperation from injuries unless they make camp, or unless their journey is interrupted by an encounter. So as you guys arrive in Newport, if you can choose to make camp, in which case your character sources enough days of food for themselves equal to 1 plus their perception bonus within 1d6 hours. On a critical success, it's even more. Let's see here. During this time. So we're going to assume that this is a break you're taking in Newport as part of this overall journey before you head out to Newark for your next roll. So as you guys are arriving in the small town of Newport, what's everyone's spirits like? How do we see the effect of the journey on our heroes thus far?
Maurice would just be jumping off the ship, tying off the rope, ready to get into land, as if nothing had happened. He's quite happy to just get on with the job, unaffected.
Yeah, I think Thaddeus is in a bad way. He needs to rest for a little bit.
Okay. So let's see here.
Everything's probably like wobbly, when he steps off on land.
Yeah.
If you weren't feeling so sick, you'd kiss the ground, but
yeah, I don't want to bend over.
How is Leopold doing? And that's an interesting question, maybe.
Leopold is holding up okay. I mean, as all things expected. He's a little weary only because of his initial fear of the Baron. He wakes up. What you find is over the course of the day and a half, he wakes up like shouting at least once each night. Mm-hmm. And Maurice, that image has been staying with you as well. So I think you can understand why he, has been troubled. Do you take any precautions while you are going to be in Newport?
Yes, the question is whether we are really going into the harbor, are we?
Mm-hmm. You could sleep, you could make camp elsewhere. What you can do during this time is, it says you can change roles. You can do healing, hunting, recuperating from injuries, reorienting, resting, or committing to other tasks that require an extended amount of time. If you sleep in a comfortable place for 6 hours, you reduce your peril condition down to unhindered. So that would be one way of doing that. I don't think no one has suffered any actual injuries. Is anyone hurt? No. Okay, so you're not hurt. It's just a matter of getting that. The downside is you'll roll your chaos dice once again. So that's the risk. Is potentially taking the day is a good way to try and recover. Newport is gonna, and I'm gonna just interpret the chaos dice in such a way that like Newport will have different kinds of encounters than if you decide to like pick a place on the shore or a smaller village along the way.
Yeah, I'd say that Patience as a smuggler has maybe been there in the vicinity or so and knows that there are maybe smuggler hiding places or don't know, some shallow thing where we could just rest for the night, maybe with even an old hut or something like that.
You know what I'll say?
Like a smuggler's den or so.
Yeah, well, let's do this. Let's have you give us a I think it's a navigation check. Let's see. And you'll add your piloting check in there too. Your piloting bonus, or not piloting, your sailor bonus.
Okay. So it's always navigation. Okay, yeah. That's okay.
And then let me tell you this. The trade-off, you can get a bonus to your roll, but I'll add it to basically reflect like how well known this smuggler's thing is, so how easy it is for you to find. But in terms of the hunting, I will make my roll with the same bonus.
Okay.
So it depends how much risk you want to run to guarantee success on your side. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would just use my sailing thing, so plus 10, and that's
standard. Okay. So then go ahead.
Let's see if I find something. Yes,
excellent. So I'll reduce that chaos dice by even one more for the purpose of this overnight thing. It's only gonna be one chaos dice to roll if you want to overnight in this smuggler's haven.
Yeah, I would advise us to do so.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Doctor will expire on us.
Okay. So then, who wants to take the... Is it Captain once again who's rolling one chaos dice for us?
Yes, I will take the blame.
Okay, here we go. Thaddeus, you would not think it would be possible, but you managed to get a solid night's sleep here. Buxagun and Maurice, you were expecting this, but each of you gains can restore your peril threshold back to normal, to the top.
Okay,
so
nice.
You guys, all right.
All the way from 3 ranks down?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume you've got 14 days worth of meals that you've brought with you. You've used up 2 days ago. You brought extra. Does anyone wish to hunt or forage to try and supplement that? I'll let one... And then what you guys can do is, if you have... It would be a survival check. And you guys can assist if someone else wants to, like if both Maurice and Buxagun want to do it, someone could roll an assist dice.
Okay. Is there any risk of being spotted?
Critical failure will be a risk. Other than that, what the benefit would be, it's 1 plus your perception bonus for 1d6 worth of hours.
Okay.
So survival. So I'm a 63.
Yeah, if you do that, I'll just do an assist.
Assist dice, sure. So you guys head out.
And it's standard?
Oh, no, here it'll be, I'll say plus 10, routine. I think so it's a 0 for Maurice. That's pretty good. So 48. That's awesome. All right, so you guys succeed on this. And then what is your perception bonus, Buxagun?
It's a 5.
5. So you gain 6 more days worth of rations. So you guys you got plenty. The reason that's important is if the quartermaster critically fails, you consume more rations, more days worth of rations. All right. So a little bit of hunting. Patience and Thaddeus, is there anything else you wish to do during your day of downtime?
Thaddeus, no, just wants to recover. I don't, there's really no studying, right? I mean,
I guess your spells. Is there anything you wish to do with some of your spells take time to prep, like I think your magic... what is it?
Well, the discern persona. I mean, unless I want to, hang on to Leopold for an hour.
I think you're strike true. So one of the things you would be aware of, if Maurice told you what he saw, a lot of those unnatural things can only be affected by, like, they are immune from any kind of mortal harm. What you could do is perhaps make use of that to magically infuse some ammunition.
Okay.
So I think it takes you...
I could do like an incantation. It says, like, if I succeed, I can have like a number of ammo based on the skill ranks of incantation. So yeah, I could try to do that.
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
So let's see here. So this is a... oh yeah, you can do it during combat as well. So give us an incantation check, please.
Okay.
Nope. You want to coin that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yay.
Nice. Okay.
So that's five bullets.
Nice. Okay.
Or maybe I should do, like, I don't know, a Buxagun is pretty. Maybe 3 arrows and 2 bullets.
Okay. So he asked to borrow these from you while you were gone, and why don't you click on the spell just so it shows in the circle thing, so it'll be, and the guys can be aware of what they've.
Do I have to? I don't know if I have to specify a particular creature or.
I think we'll click on it. Let's just see what it says here. Okay, so after successful casting, and it's also routine, so you get +10 to cast it.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have mattered on the first.
It will automatically critical succeed to hit a foe once fired. After being fired, it's destroyed. You begin to bleed, so Thaddeus has to start. You'll use up one of your bandages afterwards. He has to put his blood into this stuff.
Yeah, I drop blood on all the ammo.
Wowzers. Okay. So there you go.
But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a specific creature, right?
No. It just enchants the ammunition itself.
Yep. Yeah, because a Buxagun is like the beast slayer, so you know.
So and number of ammunition equal to the number of skill ranks.
Bloodsuckers.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I said this will help you to strike true. It is an ancient spell from Eastern Europe.
Oh,
okay. Sure.
A Buxagun is impressed.
Okay.
I think you would know what Europe might be. But,
while he's doing that, Leopold nods approvingly. Ein Spielwerker.
Does that lower my? Since I bleed, does that lower my?
No, it just bleeding is a condition. You have to have it bandaged within a number of minutes equal to your brawn bonus, or you die.
Okay.
Full stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do we have? Oh, I do have bandages. So I use one of my bandages.
Yeah, just use one of your bandages, and then during downtime, you can choose to clean bandages as well too.
Okay.
So with that, you guys are on your way to. The first leg is done. You have fully recovered from that first part of the trip.
And do I lose the smelling salt? I don't.
Yes, the smelling salts have been used up.
Okay.
You could try and source more. Oh, you didn't stay in Newport. You stayed in that other place, but
Yeah. When we can try to source more. Okay.
Yeah, your Newport next port of call will be Newark, and then you could try and follow up with more stuff there. So, guys, that brings us to the end of Chapter 2 of the Fangs of the Old Forest adventure. So, everyone would gain as well. Let's see here. So everyone would gain 50 RPs for the recap. End of session. And 100. We're not going to do a post-game debrief just because, the time. Everyone gains 100. Basically, everyone nets 200 RP for this session.
Okay. Oh, so good.
Okay. And then for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for Chapter 2 of the Fangs of the Old Forest adventure. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active, and we have a channel there dedicated to powered by Zweihander games like Flames of Freedom and Blackbirds and Zweihander itself. If you have any questions about this game, you can find us over there as well. We also have channels over there dedicated to finding a group, tons of great people, tons of great topics of conversation over there, so you are more than welcome to join us over there as well. In addition, there is a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and auto-print RPGs in North America. I'm telling them, Anna. And not only do they have an amazing selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unparalleled list of hard-to-find and auto-print RPGs. If you have a game that you're looking for or a book you're looking for, if they don't have it in stock, you can most often put it on a want list, and they will let you know when it's in stock. I'm telling them. And then at checkout, if you enter the code MUSINGS, all in caps, you will save yourself 10% on your purchase. And if you're listening to this at a later point, that code changes over time. Just check one of our more recent videos, see what the updated code is, and you can enter it then. In addition, there's also a link down below to the Heroes Save Villages campaign. That's the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really amazing organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. All donations through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middlemen. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from SOS Children's Villages activities. As a very small way of saying thank you, for every $25 Canadian that you donate, you get one chance to win the grand prize or the next one of the other great prizes in our next charity raffle, which will be happening in January of 2023. I was going to do it in December, but we're at the 18th already, and it's going to be, end of the year before I know it. So rather than trying to cram that in, I'm going to do it at the end of January. Every $25 Canadian gives you a chance to win our grand prize, which was very generously donated by our friends at Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse. There is a copy of their Platinum Edition Spelljammer Adventures in Space. I have my copy right here. I'll be doing an unboxing shortly, or over the holidays at least, to show everything that's in that box set. But they sent us a separate copy that is going to be our grand prize. It's an amazing product, tons of great stuff in it, and we've been running some sessions with it last weekend, and we're going to be continuing on into the new year to showcase more of the stuff that's in the Spelljammer box set. And if you don't win that, you still have tons of other great prizes you can win as well. There is a chainmail dice bag made by our resident armorsmith, Dave. There's a bunch of stuff from the Dungeon Musings Redbubble shop, t-shirts, posters, and coasters, stuff like that. I think we gave a pillow away last time too, so you could win a pillow with your favorite character from the Night Below campaign on it. There's also a bunch of other prizes we've got that I've got forgotten about in my guest room, but we will talk about all of those, and we'll do the grand prize draw live. So not only do you get a chance to win some amazing gaming stuff, not only do you get a chance to you also get a chance to help out some kids who could really use some help. The last thing I will say, Anna's coming to remind me, is a huge thank you to our stalwart rebels today. So guys, Darren, James, Ingolf, and Carl, thank you so much for joining me back in the American Gothic horror setting of Flames of Freedom. Congratulations for making your first leg of a voyage too. That was a lot of fun. Then, for those listening at home, we'll be back, I'm sure, for Chapter 3 of this in the new year. I will give fair warning for when this is going to happen. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes on the run from a Prussian vampire along the coast of the 13 colonies are experiencing. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.